What is going on, everybody? It's your boy John, and welcome back to Gearbox. So today got a little bit of a kind of different video for you guys, kind of meshing, I guess, two of my hobbies, if you will. Very similar but different, and let me explain. So for those who are unaware, I don't even know if I've necessarily talked about this on this channel. For probably, I don't know, let's call it 8 years, I've been detailing cars on the side. So for my day job, I sell cloud technology here in Greenville, South Carolina. Throughout college, high school, even now, I still detail cars. And one of my biggest things I think about when I go to a detailing job is kind of practice what you preach. You can't necessarily show up to a detail job with a car that's dirty and nasty like that. But I think that probably the majority of car people, and I could be wrong, probably the majority of car people are going to consider themselves detailers in one way or another. And I think that's very important and a good thing to do for a lot of reasons. And that's kind of what I want to touch on today. I love detailing cars. I have OCD, so naturally it lends itself to the details. But every single week I come out here, hand wash my car. I'm not taking it through an automatic wash or anything like that. But besides just having a clean car, it does have its benefits. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna get all my crap set up here. We'll get the car washed, and throughout that video, I'll be inserting some reasons as to why I think, car people should really be detailers too. So without further ado, let's get on to it. All right, guys. So the first point I want to make here, as far as why I think it's really a good thing for car people to be a good detailer, is really just an overall kind of state of the union of your car. If you're going through automatic washes, or you're just doing the basic kind of paint and maybe exhaust tips or something, sure, that's great. But when you get into the wheel wells, for example, you really get the ability to check out the overall integrity of your car. So when I'm here, I just like to check everything out. Check the brake pads. My brake pads look good. The rotors are not warped or have any super thin edges or anything like that. And on the same kind of note, you want everything to be clean, right? If your suspension components are not clean, or your wheels have caked on mud, in the case of a truck typically, but that's going to throw off the balance of your tires. That's going to throw off just the overall drivability of your car. So I like to sit here and really spend some time doing this. Now, obviously, like I said earlier, I do this every single week. So it's not something where they're crazy dirty or anything like that, but I do like to get in here and just kind of check things out and make sure that if there is anything that needs to be addressed, I can address it. But that's definitely number one, and I think it's a very overlooked kind of way about detailing. It's not just cleaning it, it's checking the details. It's making sure that things look good. And even if, sometimes I'll take off the wheels and clean them just to make sure that everything looks good. So for point number one, that's definitely going to be it. Let's get on to point number two. All right, y'all. So number two is going to be just protecting your investment, really. As all of us know, cars, and especially aftermarket cars, are not cheap. So for example, right here, this WRX, I think I paid $29,500 for it new. So just protect it, I mean, we're spending our hard-earned money on it. Do it. The last thing you want to do is spend all that money and let it just wither away because your car is rusting out, or the clear coat looks like shit, or whatever, and then you got to get it resprayed and maybe have some new OEM parts put on it, let alone, you know, exhaust or your wheels or side skirts or front lip. You know, it's just something to, it's no different than my house, right? I bought this house and I do work around the house to make sure that my investment of my house, it's just something to do. I feel like that's a pretty simple concept to grasp, but to be honest with you, seeing some people, and it's not just cars, it's life, you know, seeing some people treat their stuff the way they do, they clearly do not get that as far as protecting your investment. You're spending all this money. Make sure that your money goes a long way. Make sure that you're not having to buy a new car in this case in a couple years, you know. So that's definitely going to be number two. It's not difficult. Once again, if you do it all the time, like every week, it's pretty easy. You know, this for example, putting wax on your car. Meguiar's is a phenomenal company. They make great stuff, and no, I am not sponsored by Meguiar's. Maybe one day, Meguiar's. But they do great stuff. Everyone does great stuff. Turtle Wax, Armor All, Mothers, even like chemical guys and stuff like that do phenomenal stuff, and they make it super easy for you to have the capability to, at least at an amateur level, detail your car. And that's really all you need, right? So anyway, point number two, protecting your investment. That's a big one, especially with the way the economy is nowadays. Shit ain't cheap, so protect what you got. On to number three. All right, guys, so for number two, we talked about protecting your investment. And for number three, we're going to talk about kind of the flip side of that, which is resale value. You know, it's one thing to buy a car and think of it in the near term, you know, oh my God, this car is so great, and this car is going to last me forever or whatever. But you know, there are some things in life that'll come up, and maybe you have to sell your car. Maybe you want to sell your car to kind of level up and get something different. All that being said, doing stuff like this, you know, it's one thing to clean the paint or the wheels or whatever. Cleaning the engine bay, cleaning your gas cap, cleaning your door jambs, stuff that 99% of people don't care about or, you know, will not touch, that's fine. But go ahead, and if you're cleaning it, just go ahead and take an extra 5-10 minutes to do this. You know, if you're going to sell your car and someone opens up the engine bay and sees this pristine plastic and just a, you know, overall well taken care of car, you know, they are going to be willing to spend maybe a little bit of extra money because they know that you took care of it. And I know that's cliche, and I know that maybe it's not the case for all situations, but stuff like this is why they call it detailing. It's the little things that no one really thinks about, but everyone is going to appreciate when they open up your engine bay and see it spotless. So that's got to be number three. It's just too important not to mention. So let me finish this up. We'll get on to number four, and then we'll go from there. All right, for number four, we're going inside the car. Obviously, everything I said previous to this, you know, applies to the inside as well. Protect your investment, resale value, you know, whatever. But this one specifically, I would say, is going to apply to the interior, and that is going to be just cleanliness and reducing germs, basically. You know, I'm no germaphobe, don't get me wrong. I could really care less. But especially when you go to detail other people's cars, or maybe, you know, it's your own car, but you drive a lot of people for one reason or another. You know, it's a good idea, especially with all this COVID BS and whatever. We're not getting into that. But just having an overall wipe down, you know, you can clean the leather and clean the seats and whatever, but just getting in your high touch areas, you know, your steering wheel, your shift knob, you know, e-brake, even down to like seatbelt buckles and stuff like that. You know, that's something that, is it overkill if you're the only one who's going in your car 99% of the time? Probably, but you know, still good practice to do. And I know I find myself doing that a lot, especially, you know, after a long road trip, or, you know, once again, driving people when I go to work and we go to lunch or something. I'll drive people sometimes, and, you know, I just like to enter into a clean car. And part of that is knowing that I'm not going to get sick. But the other part of it is the smell of it. Like, I don't know, I like good smells. So that's important to me. And it's definitely important from a professional standpoint, you know, if you are detailing cars, you know, to make sure that you kind of leave no traces of yourself or anyone else. You know, you start with a clean slate, you clean everything, you know, literally and figuratively, clean everything, you know, get all the germs out, everything like that, to make it a safe environment for people to enjoy their car. That's going to be number 4. And for the finale, the 5th and final reason why every car guy, in my opinion, should be at least somewhat into detailing is just looks. I mean, there's nothing better than seeing a nice clean car. You've got the, you know, tire shine, got the nice mirror finish, although I'm probably due to polish this. You can see some of that orange peel there. But no, I mean, nothing is better than a clean car. The carbon fiber, the exhaust tips, you know, it doesn't get better than it, even down to the glass. Clean glass is very underrated, in my opinion. I can't stand dirty glass. But, you know, just all those things together, you know, I can't stress it enough. And you don't have to be, you know, gung-ho into the shit or anything like that, but just taking a little bit of time out of your week, for example, to just slowly but surely chip away at things within your car that would be considered detailing, if I had to guess, is just going to make you feel better about your daily driver, your project car, whatever. Even that thing, although the outside is totally trash, the inside's pretty clean. That's because I like it clean. But anyway, guys, as always, really appreciate y'all coming back to Gearbox. Hit like, comment, subscribe. You know the deal. Really appreciate all y'all's support over the past couple months especially. But if you like this video, definitely leave your comment down below. If there's anything else you would add to that list, once again, drop it down below. Hope y'all had a great Labor Day weekend. Hope everyone's staying safe, but having a lot of fun. But yeah, that's all I got. So until next time, peace.